part of my feelings on these issues. And I want to thank the contributors for the way they have raised issues. The way I see everything is that we in this country, we say we are developing. And when we discuss issues relating to the way we live, so many dimensions of it, we come to the conclusion that we are not developing. And I ask myself why we are not developing. And we are saying developing countries. The reason I'm saying this is this. Some years ago, many years ago, when I was growing up, there used to be sanitary officers in villages and in small towns. I had not even reached the level of coming to a place like Ibadan then. But in all the towns, there were incinerators in all the markets in my area. And it's not a big area. Used to be very neat because of the work of these incinerators. Many of the growing up people do not know what incinerators are. Today they are not there. In my own environment, there used to be a telephone wire that only the, how do we call these British governors, officers, DOs used in that area. But now, with the exception of this mobile, but before this mobile, those lines in those days were there. They were not even there. And we used to talk wire. That is only the telephones that were. So, to me, it's retrogressing. In my home in Ibadan, I used to say this, I'm the chairman of my own local government. And that I refer to my housing environment as government chairman. My local environment is the local government. My housing environment is the government. Because I'm responsible for disposing my waste, for paying for it. I'm responsible for employing my security person. I'm responsible for contributing money to do the drainage all around the home, everything. And I have a local government that covers my own area. Now, with respect to waste management, there used to be private company that used to come to my area. They used their initiatives to come to my area to collect the waste. And we paid them. We started in the 80s by paying 50 naira. It went up gradually. It is now 1,500 naira, and I can understand. But there was a time the government came around to say they should stop these waste collectors because they thought they were making money and that they were able to do it. But they could not do it effectively. And so we are talking of collaboration between the public sector and the private sector. And yet, we can see here in my own area, I'm saying the example is so that the government became jealous of the private sector people, and they said they would take over. They took over, but they are not as efficient as the private sector. That is one experience in Ibadan that I get. the government of Oyo State organized a consultancy project wherein the market waste became a problem. And I want to take you up in Port Harcourt in that respect, because I heard the coordinator said, if we are able to solve the problem of residential waste, you will have solved half of the problem of waste management in Port Harcourt. It is not so in Ibadan. It is true that the bulk of the waste generated in Ibadan is residential. But then the markets, commercial wastes, also, constitute a formidable problem in that area. It may not be so in Port Harcourt, but maybe you need to look at the figures again, or look at the way they arrived at that conclusion. The another thing that I want to suggest in that aspect is how do you call this dangerous wastes, hazardous wastes. Hazardous waste from hospitals, from clinics, all those areas. When we say purely residential, hazardous waste may not be too voluminous as
Okay, please.
Yes, I was saying that the waste generated from hospitals and clinics and dispensaries and so on may not as voluminous as those from residential areas, but the hazard, the disease implications, the health implications of these wastes, small as they are, demand that they should be given a very prominent position in our management of waste in Port Harcourt. Maybe one other thing that I want to add is somebody said we are not seeing waste management as a system. That's a very, very key statement to make. If we don't see, now we talk of recycling, we talk of waste generation, we talk of waste collection, we talk of waste disposal, all of this. If we don't see them as a system that should be planned together, then we will be wasting a lot of time and money in, individual projects. We are those in charge of attitudinal change. We are participators. We are this and that. They should be all seen as a system and planned as a system. And what goes about, what underlines everything about this system is that waste policy, planning, and management should be seen as part of governance. Part of governance. That is to say, every administrative regime should see this as part of what they should normally do. No government should come and say, that is not my priority. or this aspect is my priority, or this aspect is not my priority, or to say this governor is a better collector of waste than the former governor. There should be a system which should be part and parcel of governance, that every government that comes just see it as what it should be done under normal conditions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are rounding up. And please, in 30 seconds, I want us to look at this dimension. What are the opportunities that are daring for planners? Because we have seen the dimension now, we have seen how we can approach it. From that of a consultant, from those in the academia, and from those who are from this environment, what are the opportunities that are there for a planner? Go on, sir.
Okay, thank you. There are so many opportunities. We talk about urban management, and then waste is a key issue. We talk about entrepreneurship. In Lagos, government has even encouraged you to become. Some factories, what you collect are their inputs to get. That's an opportunity. I know, though not Nitp, member of the institute, who used to have, he has a registered farm. So he's moved out of Lagos now. So those are the opportunities. And I know those who use the biodegradable aspect for farming, for some fish-related products. So those are opportunities that we can look at. It's a big business if really we see it as that. Even those who are just graduating. But somebody said, to conclude, the money you make from waste will not smell, even if the waste smells. Thank you.
Okay, sir. No, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I think the issue of waste is multidimensional, and the opportunities that town planning has to derive from it is also multidimensional. First and foremost, if the problem of waste is solved, then so many other problems will be solved alongside it. We are talking about waste, we are talking about pollution, we are talking about healthy city, we are talking about sustainability, we are talking about resilience here now. If there is a lot of ways that waste management problems is affecting all of this, if we're able to isolate waste and take it out of our problem, then we'll see that the city is beautiful. Then we have more grand ideas to infuse to the city to make it more livable. We'll solve the problem of health. We'll solve the problem of river sanitation. We'll solve the problem of urban system, the aquatic life, and you see the city itself is both a system and ecosystem. And so every part of the city is going to be affected, and the job of a planner will be a little more streamlined. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, madam, in 30 seconds, what are the opportunities that are there for town planners?
Well, there are a whole lots of opportunities available for us. Like I said earlier, if we identify the investors here, the planners can send the gospel to the locals by way of orientation programs, teaching them what to benefit from waste management. And at the end of the day, we also get something in return. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, I think the planners can come in the aspect of waste to wealth projects, managing waste to wealth projects. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. The first national vice president, sir. Well done, sir. What's your take on this? We are harvesting views. So in the next 1 minute, let's know so that we can document. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I've not very much around to listen to the views shared by people. But just like we said from the beginning, anywhere waste is not generated is a dead city. But it is important that we know how to manage our waste. Well, the 5 R's are there. Most importantly is that attitudinal change, attitude to waste. Okay. What is so critical is our attitude to waste. It is, but for me, one of the things I detest so much is how we handle this waste. Sometimes it can be so detestable when we do some things that are, what do I call it, primitive. That is throwing wastes anyhow, anywhere, anytime. And so as planners, I think one of the advocacies that we have to tell people is where to put waste. Because if it is properly packaged, it is easy to manage. So tell people, don't throw away your waste while you are in the car. Don't throw away your waste into the city drainage. And then when we are able to correct the attitude of people to waste, we have a clean and healthy city.
Thank you very much, sir. The national president, sir, we like to hear of this, sir.
Thank you. I may seem to have some radical view about this. What we do to our wastes is a factor of the value that we place on a Nigerian life. So when Daddy talked about governance, what will make someone who is in charge, what will make him want to preserve the life of the people he's governing? It will be because he has placed value on their lives. So the reason we want to manage waste in the first instance is because it is a healthy attitude. It is healthy for us. It prolongs our lives. It increases our life expectancy. So, but when we are discussing issues of governance, let me tell you, governance is for civilizations that live as a nation, as a community. We don't live as a community. We live more as individuals than as community. So that's why Prof said he is his own local government. And it's because the general government is not providing some services. So in order to get rid of our wastes, first we must look at it from the value it will add to people's lives. So people need to live in a neat environment. And when we realize that, there will be no amount that will be too much to educate people. Because education is information. Break the word information into two. It is information. People are formed from inside when they hear very well. So, but government doesn't want to pay for information. Even institute, we know how much it costs us to get out information. We pay the press. And you can understand, some of them, the televisions, they pay so much to maintain generators to be able to beam their stations and things like that. So government must invest in a lot of education. It's about making people know that they have value. When we were in primary school in those days, unfortunately, I didn't complete my primary school in the Southwest. But I came to be hearing some songs that they learned in primary school. Ìmọ́tótó ló lè ṣẹ́gun àrùn gbogbo. They learnt it in primary school. In primary school, you are taught. So these things are education. The methods by which we were disposing in the villages in those days was because the population was very low. Now, population is increasing. We have to do something. So we say, we pick the waste, we carry them, we go and dump them. Dump them to do what? We're not processing. So it's something that Nigeria really has to think through. There are complex incineration machines now that will give you byproducts that are useful in other places. So I think it's something, it's a conversation that has to continue, because we must solve this problem. We must be thinking of sustainable waste management, not just for now.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause. So, a round of applause to our panelists. Please, we can do better, please. Thank you very much, sirs, for coming. We have come to the end of this conversation. And let me appreciate you for giving us your input. It will help our study. Once again, thank you very much. Do have a nice conference time.
All right, thank you very much. I want to say thank you to the NITP Innovation Team for organizing this colloquium. I want to also thank all the panelists. Yes, Madam Chika, Professor Kindele, Tampana Dawai, Tampana Moses Oguleye, fellow of the Institute, and of course, Dr. Samson Olarewaju. Thank you very much. Distinguished town planners, I want to thank you all for being part of this NITP Innovation Team colloquium. We have come to the end of this program. I want to thank you for your patience and for your participation. Our next program today is the Rivers Cultural Night that we'll be holding in the next 1 hour. Stay tuned and be part of this program. Remember that tomorrow, 6:30 a.m., we will be converging at here in this hotel to take off for the city walk / recreation. Do well to register, get your t-shirt and your face cap and your ticket, which is your passcode into the pleasure park. And right in the pleasure park, there's going to be a novelty football match between the fellows versus women in planning. And I want to assure you that the national president will be right there, because he's going to be wearing the number 9 jersey, and he's going to be the chief striker of the fellows team. And the chairman college of fellows is going to be right there. Our Baba Obelo, he's the technical advisor and the chief coach of the fellows team. And he's going to be supported by other past presidents who will be in the lineup for that program. Yes, I know that the Secretary College of Fellows, Fellow Hess, is going to be right there. He's going to be coordinating the fellows team. Baba, I know you're also going to be there, sir. Yeah, so please do well to get your t-shirt and face cap and ticket that will be the passcode to the recreation center. Now, the city walk is going to start with a city walk. It's not going to be a long walk. It's going to be about a 3-kilometer walk. We'll just try to unwind and exercise the body. And then that walk will not end at the pleasure park where the novelty football match will take place. The women are also very much ready. I can assure you that Mommy Owe is going to be there. She's the goalkeeper of the female team. And she's going to be right there. All other women, Mommy Babalola is going to be there. And I can assure you that the women are telling us that they're not pushovers, that this match, they're going to win this match. So please be there. Young Planners Forum versus Opsan is going to happen live at the Pleasure Park. Thank you very much for being part of our program today. The next 1 hour, the Rivers Cultural Night, will commence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. DJ, please can you play the songs by Tunde Tayo? Please play the songs by Tunde Tayo. These songs are available for download at our website www.nitp.org. You can also visit our media team and they will also transfer the audios to you free of charge. Use them as your caller tunes. Use them to advertise town planning. Thank you. Once again, the rapporteurs, you are asked to submit your reports to Professor Alati.
For you. Listen, make you hear wetin dem dey talk. If person no plan, he go fail. But we no want to make you fail. Now town planners they bring you this message. They want make you know say dem gather here gidigba for you. Listen, make you hear wetin dem dey talk. If person no plan, he go fail. But we no want to make you fail. That is why town planners don't come to help you plan your landed properties. They want good environment for us. They want beautify our towns. Yeah. Town planners say them be the answer to good environment. Town planners, them go help you to plan your landed properties. Them get good standard. We go make our life better. We go live in peace. We go live in beautiful environment. Now we dey push awareness to the people wey dey our nation. We dey work with standard. We no dey joke. Our yes be our yes.